Guys, let's talk. I want us to take a moment to talk about the online discussion, the weekly online discussions, which outside of week one, they're all graded. I know for some of you, this is your first online class, and so you may be a tad bit perplexed as to how this is expected to go. So I want to be timely in walking you through what the online discussion post ought to look like. The first thing you want to do is, before you even begin posting for the online discussion, you want to take a close look at the grading rubric. Guys, I am going to be very transparent. I grade the discussion post according to the grading rubric. So for me, having laid out the grading rubric, then it's a simple matter of check-offs when I do the grading. So what am I checking off? If you take a look at the grading rubric, you will find that there's a criteria, there's a partially fulfilled requirement, and there's a completely fulfilled requirement. Now you want to take a close look at the completely fulfilled requirement. There are two posts required for the discussions. One of your posts while your two posts can be made at any time, provided they're on two different days, one post must be made before Sunday at 11:59 p.m. So your first post again must be before Sunday at 11:59 p.m. Now I want you to take a close look at how you're credited for this post. So it's not just that you're making a post, but your post has to be a complete response as reflected by at least two paragraphs of at least 8 sentences for each paragraph. Your second post must be done on a different day, and the requirement for your second post to completely fulfill the requirement is again a complete response reflecting at least two paragraphs um, with at minimum 8 sentences each. For your second post, you must include examples and textual references. Now, your response to your peer. Your response to your peer doesn't necessarily have to be two paragraphs. It could be one paragraph. But the one paragraph must have, at minimum, 8 sentences to get the complete grade. And of course, in terms of grammar or spelling, in order to get the complete grade, there has to be little grammatical or spelling errors. Bearing in mind, guys, that this is a college level class. Now, when you go into the discussion for the first time, you will notice that there's no other post there but your own. Is it really that there's no other post there but your own? No. So why is it that you don't see anything? You don't see anything because, in the interest of us all, and to avoid plagiarism, to avoid people copying other people's posts, oh, yes, it happens. Um, you must post first. And after you've given your first post, then you will be able to see what your other peers have posted. Now, I want to give you a sample of a discussion question, right? And you want to review this sample over and over and over, just so that you can get it fermented in your minds in terms of what your post ought to look like. So the question for this post is, Why should we eat vegetables? Let's look at response number one. Response number one, we should eat vegetables because it's good for you. Did this person lie? No. However, that's just one sentence. And there's so much to say about this. So, do you think this person would get any point at all? Absolutely none. Not even an acknowledgement that they responded to the question because they did not, right? So, let's take a look at response number two. Here, the student writes, vegetables are dot dot dot. They go on to say what vegetables are. Then they say we should eat vegetables because dot dot dot. They go on to say why we should eat vegetables. Then people who eat vegetables are, and they go on to speak about that. When people do not eat vegetables, then they go on to speak about that. Now look at this, guys. Here now they turn to the textbook. According to the textbook, Giddens et al., page 25, vegetables dot 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 dot. So now they tell you what the textbook says about vegetables. Furthermore, the textbook says it has nutrients that the body needs dot dot dot, and they go on to say what these nutrients are. Based on the textbook, eating vegetables are, and they go on to say what the textbook says eating vegetables are. So we see that the textbook agrees that dot 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 dot, and they go on to say what the textbook agrees. This means that for someone to grow healthy, it is important that dot dot dot. They go on to speak about that. They go on to embellish. Now look at what happens next. Now they start to provide examples. So what examples does is it embellishes your post, right? Um, they say, I know someone who did not eat vegetables and dot dot dot. This person dot dot dot. The textbook would describe this person as dot dot dot. People who know this person wonder dot dot dot. So that's just one example, right? They go on to give another example, right? And then they wrap up. This is why it is important for us to eat vegetables. A complete response, right? So at the end of the day, your post should look like this. And if your post isn't looking like this, then hint, hint. All right? Just a reminder that for the discussion board post, your initial post to the original question must be before Sunday at 11 p.m. Your second post in response to appear can be made on any day before Thursday. So, for example, you want to make your first post on Saturday and one on Sunday, then you're good. If you want to make your first post on Sunday and one on Thursday, you're still good. All right? Two different days with the first one being posted before Sunday at 11.